everybody. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Hi, how's everybody doing? Happy Monday, you guys. I am so excited to see you. I am very excited because we have got a big day ahead of us. It is going to be so much fun. And you guys, I am just really hyped because I feel like so many times in our lives, we get stuck and we don't realize it, right? Like, how many times have you felt stuck and you're like, I don't even know I'm stuck. I didn't even know that I was stuck. So today we are going to help you get unstuck. Hi, Antonetta. It's so good to see you, Mama. I'm so glad you're here. You guys, we're getting after it this morning. There is no time like the present, and I am ready to get into it with you. So right now, Antoinette is saying, I feel stuck a little. Well, you are in the right place, Mama. You're in the exact right place. So jump in the chat. If you're feeling stuck, let me know where you're feeling stuck. I'm watching comments kind of everywhere, to be honest. We've got a lot of screens going, which is always fun because it keeps it busy. You know, it keeps it busy. So you guys, I had a really fun revelation. So I don't know if you guys remember, but last Monday when I went live, I said that I was having a little slow start to the new year. And the other day I ran into a new friend and she told me she's Orthodox. And she was like, so I celebrate 2 Christmases and 2 New Years. So good news for all my friends out there. There was a new year that just started yesterday. So we are technically just right now in another new year. So happy second new year. I was excited. I was like, I am claiming that new year because typically over this season, I'm with my husband deep diving into strategy, into ideas, and talking about what we're going to do in the coming year. And this year, we honestly just kept happily getting delayed in that. We had family visiting, we had a lot of fun. My sister is here. Hi, Anna. Like, we had so many fun things going on. And I just honestly felt happy not doing that. So then it came into New Year, and I was like, oh my goodness, it started on a Monday. I wasn't feeling the Monday heat. Antonetta's saying she had a lot of projects and she's just feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And that's kind of how I was feeling. So, true story, you guys. We got into it over the weekend. And this, you guys, was the results. I know it looks like the rambling of a psychopath, but don't worry, it's not. It's actually how we get unstuck. Sometimes you got to get things out of your head onto paper so you can start moving, you can start flowing, and you can start growing in the exact ways that you've dreamed of doing. And so I want to help you get there. Whether it looks like a psycho rambling or it looks like something in between, I got you. So today, what we're going to talk about is a couple things when it comes to getting unstuck. But I really want you in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling, what you've been feeling a little stuck on, because I think that a lot of us can relate. A lot of us have been feeling the pressure of pushing and moving and growing and doing all the things that we really want to do. And I think that the truth is that we have to come together. Number one, we got to talk about it, you guys. We have got to get clear about the things that are holding us back. And then we've got to actualize. We've got to change what's happening so that we can do something different. And we have the power of doing that. We really do. I'm going to start off with what I believe to be honestly a huge challenge for many people, whether it's on a personal level, it's on a business level, or just literally just living your life as a mom or anything else. So many times we struggle because we don't realize that we are the expert. We don't know who we are. And if you don't know who you are, you don't know where you're coming from. And this affects every single conversation because it's very focused. Like we know 2024 is going to be action. It's a political year. We are expecting lots of opinions about a lot of people going all over the place. It doesn't matter where you sit or stand in politics, you're going to see a lot of things, right? But what you're going to see are politicians who are trained, right? And they've worked very hard on clarifying their message. What is their message? What is the fence post that they stand on? I'm very clear about who I am and whose I am. So everything I do and everything I say comes from that. Even when I make mistakes, right? Even when I'm like not representing that well, I'm like, okay, I can check myself because I know the line that I'm trying to check it against, right? I know what my standards are because I know who I am. And if you don't know who you are, you don't know how to actualize. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you're a coach and you've been passionate about it for a long time. You spent a ton of time researching and building and growing, and you feel like it's your moment. It's go to market time. You did the go to market strategy session, the course inside the Launchpreneur app. You are ready to go, but you're not, because you haven't quite internalized that message that says that that is who you are, right? That says you are powerful, you are ready, you are the expert, you bring wisdom wherever you go. So you're going to go to more places, you're going to say more things, you're going to lean in at a higher capacity because you know who you are. If you're teetering on that, you're going to lean out when you really need to push forward, when you really need to lean in. You're going to be like, I don't know. And what that does is it creates obstacles and it creates roadblocks. And if you do that, the problem is that you fast forward weeks and months and years and you still haven't gotten to move because you haven't found your way. And Tanetta, yes, you need to get in the app. Let's go. You need to have that at your fingertips because there's so much wisdom in there. We're actually inviting more coaches to start creating content in the app and start to just share their learnings and their wisdom because everyone's voice matters. Every voice is powerful. And when you realize that, you see that, and you know that, you start to stand strong on that voice because you say, you know what? I am the expert. I do have a voice. It matters, and I can make an impact. You know, I talk a lot about my journey going through stuff, struggling with anxiety and depression. And what I realized is after reading over 1,000 self-help books, attending many events, watching webinars, doing all the things, what actually helped me was a transformation of my mind. But I heard so many people honestly say that exact message again and again and again. And it wasn't until one person said it in a way that I heard it that it shifted my thinking. And who here knows? Let me know in the chat. Do you know that if you change your thinking, you change your life? Who knows that, right? Who knows when you change your thinking, you change your entire life? That's why I'm starting off on this talk about getting unstuck and getting moving in 2024 on one thing, your identity, you knowing who you are. You don't need someone else to tell you that you're enough. You don't need a certification to tell you that you are good enough. You don't. You have all the power within you. But if you sit back, if you lean back, because you're like, I don't know, I'm not doing a great job, I don't have this power, or you don't think you can really solve the problem. That's a big one, friends. Like so many times we get stuck there, right? We don't think that we have the solution, so we don't speak up. True story. I used to work with Jason Strauss. He was kind of the genius behind Tao Group and launched all of these amazing like nightclubs and stuff. He started very young, just being a promoter, just knowing how to get people talking, get people to show up. And that's how he built a very big empire in the nightlife industry. Well, I was on his marketing team, and I remember week after week, every Thursday, I would like cringe from the inside, like going into that meeting because I knew we'd have to go around and everyone's got to share their insights. And after a few weeks, you know, you can't be on that team in a marketing capacity if you're not learning and growing, right? You've got to be keeping up. So what was happening was my brain was being refined and evolved, and I was starting to learn from these genius marketers, but I was so afraid to speak up because I didn't know who I was in that room. I felt like the girl that someone let in the back door. Like, why am I here, right? I didn't have all the qualifications that everybody else did. But see, marketing is powerful because it's about human connection. And if you want viral marketing, it's human connection at scale, right? It's saying, I see you, I know you, I can connect with you, and I can do that at scale. Now, I cannot go to USC and sit in a room with doctors and talk to them about organ transplants and know who I am and be an expert and add a voice, right? But in a room about marketing, I got you. I could even go to that room and talk about leadership and marketing, and I got you. But I am not the right girl to talk to them about organ transplants. That's not my move, right? But I know that when I realize what room I should be in, and most importantly, I identify my customer. Because going back to this fun, crazy ranting, right? Of like, what is the model and how does it work? And honestly, like many of business plans have launched on cocktail napkins. I am living proof. I will tell you, it comes down to one thing, and this is it. This is literally it. So if you want to know who you are in identity, you want to know where you stand and where your voice matters, it comes down to one thing. Who is your customer? Know your customer. Fall madly in love with your customer. Know them like nothing else. All you need to do is obsess about this one person and everything else flows. I told Rick today, I was like, broad is broke. I've heard a lot of amazing coaches say this. Broad is broke. People try to be everything for everyone. They went, oh, well, I want to be in a room with tech, so let me learn. No, that's not my move. That's not my customer. Like, I know who my customer is. That, not my customer. So what I need to do is be very intentional, be very effective at my ability to know my customer and to serve my customer with integrity, with confidence, with capacity. And I need to continue to grow in order to do that. You cannot pour into others if you are not being poured into, period. Doesn't matter where you get poured into, what you believe or what you gravitate towards, but you will miss. You will mess if you do not pour into yourself or find someone or something that does. Because when you do that, you can pour into others. But you've got to fall in love with your customer. Yes, Kim, that's right. Fall in love with your customer. You've got to do that if you want to hit it. And I know we want to hit it. And this comes into your identity. Because if you know who you are, you know what your capacity is. You know how to serve your person. You know who your person is. And a little like spoiler alert from 10 years of not doing this, I'm going to save you guys 10 years, a whole decade of misstep. Make sure you actually like your customer. Because you can fall in love with that guy who's bad for you. We've all done it. You can fall in love with that girl who's bad for you, right? Make sure you like who you're choosing and fall in love with them because they're going to be with you. If you do your job right, they're not going anywhere. Another issue that I see when it comes to our identity is we think we have competition. We think we have competition. I don't have any competition. There is only one girl with these fingerprints on this entire planet. Do I have other people who do what I do? Yes. Do I have other people who are better than me at it? Absolutely. Do I have other people who like it, who want to do it? Of course. Do I know that I was created to empower people to go on, to push forward, to lean in, to find out who they are, whose they are, and what they're doing with it? Absolutely. That's why I was created. There's nobody competing with me for Rachel McCord's spot. There might be people trying to be like me in certain areas, but that's not the move. And I'm not trying to be like somebody else. I'm trying to fully be the best me I possibly can. I still grow, I still evolve, but I don't look at other people who do the same thing as me as my competition. I don't, because it's not my competition. My job is to be the best Rachel I can possibly be in my relationship with my family, in my relationship with God, my relationship in my business, my friends, you guys. That's my job. That's all I have to worry about. I don't have to take on the weight of the world because it's not mine to carry. But if you think you have all this competition, everybody's a coach. Everybody's an influencer. Everybody's got a pizzeria. Yeah, but your pizzeria in cold AF Texas right now is going to do different than one in Nevada. You know how I know that? Because they're different people in Texas. They're different people in California. You got to know who you are so you know who you serve and how you serve them. And you get powerful in doing that. Are we tracking? Are we feeling it? Let me know in the chats. I know I'm seeing some comments here. Cult branding. Yes, Ricky. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Intentionality is the key. Genish? Is that how I say it? Genisha. Really just butchered that, didn't I? I did my best. I gave it my all. I did my best, Rachel, I could in that moment. Okay, another issue that I see very often is that people's standards are just too low. You guys, you have normalized things you should not normalize. On Wednesday of last week, we got to interview an amazing queen behind Boss Moms. She founded a group that's over 74,000 members now. And she was talking about how we have the need to denormalize what doesn't work. I do this all the time, like in my own life. I feel like I have lived in that like cycle of like, I guess this is normal. I mean, how many people are like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. And then you meet somebody else and they're like, I would never do that. I would literally never put up with that. Your standards are too low. Your standards are too low in your business. You're not getting fed up with what's not working. So you're getting caught in this little like rabbit hole, because if you accept something that doesn't work, you'll stay there and you'll keep experiencing it. I always say you got to clean out space in the closet if you want to bring in new stuff. How many people leave clothes in their closet that they haven't worn in 10 years? Doesn't fit them. They don't like it, but they keep doing it. They just keep on keeping on. No, raise your standards. If you want to have a closet full of thousands of things, make sure they're things that fit you and that vibe with you. And if not, donate them, give them back to the world. Stop trying to make yourself fit into the boxes of society and everything else. Be yourself, love yourself, and show up fully in all the places you were meant to show up, whatever that means. Even if you're actively losing your voice, like I am, like my voice right now is different than the beginning of this call. But you can't stop, guys. You can't let anything stop you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're facing, you can push through if you know who you are and you don't think that there's a competition. You don't think that you're in a situation where other people are clamoring for your spot. It's just not true. What if I told you that I know for a fact that each of you were created to impact at least one person in your lifetime? There's one person you're going to encounter in your life, and that one person you're going to make a life-changing impact on. It could be a nephew, it could be a niece, it could be a grandchild, a sister, a daughter, a friend, a human in a grocery store. We live in a world where you don't know when people are on the verge of giving up. You don't know when they're just ready to call in. And the truth is that one person who follows you, one person who sees you, who hears you, you can say something that will change their life. But you can't do that if you give up. You can't do that if you get to a point where you think that your voice doesn't matter. You've got to know who you are and what your voice is and why it matters so that you keep saying it. We live in a world that judges ourselves based on how many people like what we have to say. That's messed up. How many people show up for us? This does not equal value. It doesn't. You are valuable because you exist. And you've got to show up in your business in that way. You've got to show up with that level of heart and passion to know that whatever you're doing, you're just seeking out that one person who needs to hear from you, my love. You're just trying to find them wherever they are. And if you can do that and just rinse and repeat every single day, at some point you're going to look back at your life and you're not going to measure it by the number of digits in your bank account or the number of square feet on your house or anything else. You're going to look back and you're going to think, this is exactly what I was created for. And guess what, friends? I did it to the best of my ability. One of my favorite quotes is The Man in the Arena, where it talks about you want to like come to heaven's gates, like beat up, dirty, dusty, worn out, limping along because you gave life your absolute all. And you did it not for yourself and for the betterment of your personal experiences, but for every person out there who needs to know that they matter. And hear me, friends, if we are plugged into our why as entrepreneurs, which you know I talk about 100% of the time, if you are plugged into your why, then you absolutely know. My husband's such a dork. I see you. He's commenting about my raspy voice. Then you know that's why you were created. Because I believe God puts dreams in our hearts and they're completely connected into that one person or that 1 million or however many people you're going to impact. There's a lot of people here going to impact millions of people. And I know that. And you already are. So I see you. And I also see the people who are impacting one person. They have one client in their coaching program and they're like, I don't know if it's enough. I feel like refunding their money and giving it back and just quitting this. But that one person matters because let me tell you about the ripple effect. One person equals 1 million because that's the difference that we make. And we've got to raise our standards so we raise the outcome. When you get fed up with where you are, you will launch into where you were created to be. When you get fed up with what is, you will push more. And here's the thing, you've got to care about the outcome. You've got to care more about your faith in what can be than your fear of it's not going to happen. And that requires standards. You have to have your goals. You have to have your standards. You have to know what matters. And for a lot of us, you're here, you're like, Rachel, thank you for your little motivational beat, but I need to generate some cash. I need to put money in the bank. So I'm going to tell you what I tell you pretty much all of these lives. is that you've got to stay focused on what generates your cash. Because you want to go out and you help your one, you've got to do, the Bible says, watch the ravens, right? They work all the time. They're always moving, but they also don't fear. They don't store up in storehouses, but they always are fed because God cares about the ravens. How much more does he care about his children? That's just the reality, right? But they still do. They still show up. They're always pecking. They're always moving. I feed the birds like passionately. Like I am the girl who pulls over when I see a little community of friends and I'm like, I've got crumbs in here. I'm a mom. Birds could live a year on the crumbs in my car. And I try to keep it clean. I'm not a messy bro. Like I really do my best, but I've always got something for the ravens. The last piece is you've got to generate that cash by focusing on the things that are working. What's working? What product is working? I see the biggest mistake in this area, it's super simple. It's so simple, it's minimal viable. Who knows where I'm going? You have not nailed your minimal viable product. Because once you nail your minimal viable product, you just scale that. What's a minimal viable product? Your MVP. Your minimal viable is that one thing that everybody's going for. You see it in beauty companies all the time. They have that one product that anybody would bet on. They're like, this is the miracle cream. This is the serum that will make your hair grow and look like mine. Right? How many people have you seen this too? Right? Because there's one thing that really works. They did it, they scale it, and they keep going. So that's what I would encourage you to do. In your business, focus in on that one thing that works. That one thing that you believe in that's passionate, that you're passionate about, that works. Keep moving with that and scale it. Add stuff on later. That's great. But focus on that one thing. Antoinette says, does that mean picking one thing in beauty or fashion, etc.? It means really, again, holding on to that customer, right? So like, who is your customer? What do they want from you? That's your minimal viable opportunity. Because if you know that your customer is a girl in Texas who wears pink, I'm talking about Texas a lot today. I don't know why. I'm a Georgia girl. So, I just claim any area where they wear cowgirl boots and hats. But, you find your person and you speak to them. You speak to them and you push. Oh, Antonetta, we got the green light on that. So get after it on TikTok. Get after it. She does Monet and she's like, I always want to get the green light so I can use it on my videos. Yes, Russian was like, Texas rocks. There you go. You guys, you've got to just hone in on that one thing that's really working and scale that. And then you duplicate it. You have to duplicate it. And guys, you also want to make sure that you've got your goals clearly defined and that you're creating a system around how you're going to get there. So if you have your minimal viable product, you know what it is. You fell in love with your customer. You know that you've got them. You're ready to serve them with all your heart. Now create a system and activate your team if you have one, or get into a systematic approach to your business and be consistent. Be consistent. And here's the deal. A lot of you don't know you're stuck. So I'm going to tell you real quick before we wrap up. You want to know how to know if you're stuck. What you have to make sure that you do is take a step back and look at how things are moving and progressing. I've seen myself in many seasons of life be stuck, but then know that I'm stuck. Knowing that you're stuck would look like this. I ask you today to get off this call and record a 2-minute promo about yourself, speaking to your customer about a problem you can solve. Knowing yourself. So, hi, I'm Rachel McCord. You guys, I went from trailer parks, red carpets to Bloomberg, and I'm here to help you get unstuck in your business, no matter what's holding you back. Get unstuck, get moving before you run out of cash, before you run out of your passion, right? So if you can't say who you are and validate that, what you saw for that customer and how you're going to do it in 2 minutes, you're probably stuck. So work on that, because if you can figure it out in 2 minutes in a conversation, in a video, you're going to be able to go to a networking meeting and share that message, even with a raspy voice. You can do it. I believe in you. You guys, I'm going to wrap now because I'm literally getting wrapped. I'm getting benched with my voice. I'm so happy to see each and every one of you. You matter to me. You're beautiful. You matter to him. And here's the deal. If any of you want to talk more, email me, message me. I'm at rachel@rachelmccord.com. Send me a note. Tell me what's going on in your life. Mind, body, spirit, I got you. I care about you. I love you. Thank you. Please keep the prayers coming for my voice. That is a situation. Wasn't this bad of a situation, but I just gave you my all of my voice, all of my heart, all of my passion. I love each and every one of you, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for sharing this day with me. Y'all are amazing. Bye.